Hello and welcome everyone to my little Jungledinger guide. Oh, first of all, what the fuck? Yeah, I know, it's a little bit odd at Heimerdinger jungles, but it is actually possible due to the recent patch which cranked around the AI of the neutral creeps. Basically, when you place the turret before the latest patch, that is patch, let me see, patch 107, when you place a turret, the creeps would always go for you, no matter where you are on the map, which resulted in some weird and hilarious things. But in the recent patch, it actually depends now who attacks the creeps. If you attack it, they will attack you. If the turret attacks it, they will attack the turret. And basically, this enables Heimerdinger to jungle, which is, like I said, really gimmicky, but at the same time surprisingly effective. Because the only thing I have regular caster masteries with also regular caster runes, and I start with a Doran shield. That's basically the only thing I have to do special for to jungle with Heimerdinger, besides also taking Smite with me, because it is almost mandatory. I tried it without Smite, but it just doesn't work. Anyways, the basic thing you need to do for the big creeps are aggro them yourself, and then just try to like dance around them, or just try to get away from them, so the turret has enough time to actually damage them. Here at the very beginning, it's important that you actually get the first hit, which is always a little bit erratic, because sometimes the turret is faster, sometimes you are. But basically, we could go with Smite, so we actually really get the first hit. In this video, I actually don't get the first hit, and he instantly goes for the Golem, but it is not that important. Basically, what you do is really just dance around the Golem. As soon as the first turret dies, it's just set down to your second, and basically just try to tank the Golem as much as possible, and smite him when it's needed. And just, I could also just go off screen. If I go off screen, the lizard would attack the turret, which I abused later on in against the wolves, the ghosts, and also against the lizard. But everything to his time. Here, like I said, I first hit them with the grenade, let them attack me, and get out of range, so they turn around and attack the turret. This gives me enough time. This gives the turret enough time to damage them enough. Of course, I constantly help with the grenade, so it actually so it actually blinds. It's really important that I completely ignore the rockets for at least, I think, up until level 8, because the grenade is just way more important with the stun and the blind. Also, this turret placement here is kind of important, because we also need that turret for the lizard later on. Again, the same concept, which what's a little bit annoying is that one ghost usually doesn't tend to die, so he constantly flies back and forth, which A, costs time, and B, makes the turret targeted constantly. But so much to that. Since we got our second turret now, we can go for the lizard, which actually I pulled it off this time quite nicely. I got it between both lizards. The problem is that the bottom one, of course, goes for the little chumps, but still it doesn't do enough damage to kill the lizard. And I'm also still pretty fit. Now I'll go for the golems, of course, which are actually the easiest ones to get, especially at this point where we're already quite beastie and have a lizard buff. About the jungling items, I tried out some different things, like the typical cloth armor with 5 health potions, but it is actually not really needed. I never really found it to be that useful. Also tried a Doran swing, but the problem is you just don't get enough health regeneration. You usually end up being a little bit getting too low, and it's quite risky. I think you could pull it off if you really try, but why not? It's actually not that bad. I mean, the Doran shield is an item for every champion. About the skill order, I don't really deter from my regular skillings. I do skill the rockets pretty late, because I find the blind from the grenade is way too important to just simply ignore it. Also, from level 4 on, you can basically go for a dragon. What I just do is a little detour. I think it wasn't the best idea for me to do, because My golem buff is already close to running out. I'm waiting quite a lot here for the wolves and especially the ghosts to respawn, or the wraiths. Basically from level 4 on you can try to go for the dragon, but I think I didn't because I was a little bit low on health, and you have to actually tank quite a lot of hits from the dragon. So it's better that I don't do a little detour. Basically you can solo the dragon from level 4 on, but usually it's almost better if you have your bottom lane partner join in and help you a little bit, because it can get critical and sometimes the dragon doesn't want to behave. Well, he's a dragon, what do you expect? Also, yeah, that's the problem because my golem buff ran out. I have to wait for the acid and long cooldowns of my turret. But it's not that bad, of course. Of course, usually this would be really dangerous if I would just jump around them blindly. I think info usually dragon isn't warded that early in the game, but still, or maybe you happen to bump into the enemy jungle. Basically, what I do here is wait before I can place down the second turret before I attack it, then tank quite a lot of hits from the dragon, and well, bombard it with my buff. Also, you can place a third turret, but sometimes the problem is that the dragon just completely ignores it, the third turret, and just goes back to his cove and of course regenerates health, which would be pretty bad. That's why I actually suggest to have a lane partner join in. You see I got actually pretty low on this, but still quite on the safe side. I still can jungle on, because from level 5 on you can, for most parts you can actually let the turret tank the damage, so you don't actually have to do anything productive. Well, that's not what I mean.
I could help you do that better.
But yeah, Jungledinger is actually quite an interesting gimmick. Of course the problem of Jungledinger is that unlike any other jungler, he can't, well, really gank. Heimerdinger can't gank and probably never will be able to gank pretty viably. What he can do, of course, is like place sometimes, for example, when you pass by the middle or the bottom lane, you can set a turret down there for a little additional defense, which also gives you a little bit more experience. Also, one thing you shouldn't do is, especially at the race, which I just showcase here, is to let the turret tank, which actually more happened accidentally, because you see they tear it down pretty quickly, and without the turret I can't really do anything. But anyways, this is pretty much it. This video goes on for a little bit longer because just to show off what you can do further. For now you can pretty much go on with your regular build. I'm just going to buy my boots and my Tear of the Goddess, and also I think a couple of health potions. Info it's not really needed that much anymore. I could have bought a ward instead, but for whatever reasons. Hey Nunobot. I didn't. Yeah, it's actually really interesting to have a Jungledinger. I tried it out already in a couple of games. It's quite interesting. I wouldn't call it really viable, but it certainly is something interesting. Maybe it is. I really have to test it a little bit more. I just discovered it recently. That patch is pretty young still, and haven't played that much Heimerdinger lately. But yeah, you can see that it works really effectively now. Also, what you can do is, for example, use your ultimate to save your turrets, etc. And the best thing is, from now on, you can pretty much let the turrets finish off the creeps, like for example what I do here. I weaken them a little bit, kill one or two, and later on with level 9, when you get to level 3 turrets, you can really almost ignore them instantly. Just set them there and let them do the work. Maybe pull your ulti so it actually survives, but it's actually amazingly efficient to jump with Heimerdinger. Of course, he really also has the problem that when he gets scanned during the jungle, he could have a problem because I only have Ghost with me, which, well, could save my ass, but maybe it doesn't. It's always a matter of positive or negative karma. But well, that's pretty much everything I have to say about Jungle Heimerdinger. I suggest you try it out if you like to play Heimerdinger a little bit differently, or just want a different kind of jungler. He certainly is a different kind of jungler. It's a little bit more special than, like, let's say, Jungle of Warwick, Amumu, Trundle, or whatever there is. For further information, please check out the guide on leaguecraft.com, which is linked in the video description. There is more details about the jungling pops, general hints, tips and tricks, masteries which aren't that different, and the runes which aren't any different either. But anyways, I hope to see a little bit more Jungledingers sooner or later.
And what did you expect from such
I
a
see you in
substandard
game.
intelligence?
Au revoir.